Hello friends, thank you for watching this video. So over the last few days I have been looking at different ways where I can deploy a React application to AWS, and I decided to utilize S3 to deploy this. So in this video I'm going to share with you how did I do it, and what are the tools that I use to do so, and what are the technology and the steps that I take in order for me to deploy a demo application or demo React application into AWS. So let's get started. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to create a React application, and in order to do so we need to have Node installed. So I'm going to put node -- version, and as you can see I'm running on the latest version. By the time of this recording you can have any node version that you want. And in order for us to create a React application, I'm going to utilize npx create -react -app. I'm going to call it hello world, and this will take roughly around a minute to install, a couple of minutes, and once it's installed and created we'll continue. So now as we can see, the application has been created successfully. If I basically do an ls here, we can see that all of my files are there. Let me open the Visual Studio Code, and as we can see here I have my source folder. I have basically the boilerplate JavaScript file that I can use in order for me to start my application. So let's start this application up and see what do we get. So I'm gonna, inside my terminal, I'm gonna put npm start, and as we can see here my application is actually running perfectly. Okay, great. So let me go back to Visual Studio Code, and I'm just gonna do simple changes. I'm gonna say hello YouTube from React, for example. I'm gonna make it on a new line, and now as we can see hello YouTube from React. Okay, great. So now we know that this is my application, everything is running as it should be. So what I want to do first now is I'm gonna create a build version of this, and this is basically the output, or basically whatever I'm gonna be deploying to AWS. And this build version will only contain the required files and information in a very minified way that will allow me to host it easily on AWS. So let's see how we can do that. So let me clear this up. And what I'm gonna do here is npm run build, and now what we're gonna be seeing here on the left hand side, I'm gonna have a build folder created, and this build folder is basically the published version of my application that I can easily deploy to any service anywhere that I want. And this is basically the file that I'm gonna be needing. So now that I have this in place and now everything is running as I wanted to, now I'm gonna focus on AWS and create the infrastructure that I need there. So we can do it through the console, but just to make this video a bit more interesting, we're gonna be doing it through Terraform. And let's go back to my terminal, and inside my terminal here, just gonna go one step back, and I'm gonna create a new folder called infrastructure or infra, and let's open this infra in Visual Studio Code, and we can create it from there. So the first thing that I want to create here is a file, and I'm gonna call it main.tf, and this is gonna be the main Terraform file where I'm gonna have everything. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to initialize Terraform in order for me to tell it that I'm going to be connecting to AWS. So I'm going to put Terraform required providers AWS. I'm going to specify the source here, and then I'm going to specify the version that I want. So the source is going to be HashiCorp /AWS, and the version is going to be equal or bigger than 5.45.0. Okay, great. So now that I have my providers in place, and basically this tells Terraform that which cloud service I'm going to be using and what version of the API that I'm going to be utilizing. Then what I want to do here, I want to provide some configuration for this. So I'm going to specify the region that I want to use. Basically I can specify the region here, and if we go to the AWS console, if I click here, what I have is basically all the different regions that AWS support. And just to make this easier, I'm just going to utilize EU-West-1. So I'm going to put here EU-West-1, and this is the region that I'm going to be using. Great. So once I have done this, I'm gonna start creating my S3 files. So I'm gonna put here create another file called s3.tf, and here what I'm gonna do is gonna start creating the resources. And basically here the resources is what are the AWS services that I want, and I'm gonna utilize here AWS S3, and as we can see we have bucket, and I'm gonna call this React app. So once I have done this, in order for me to create a bucket, I need to provide some information like the name, some of the configuration that's needed. So I'm gonna give it the bucket name, and I'm gonna call it my React app, and I'm just gonna give it some tags. I'm gonna say dev or environment, and I'm gonna say dev, as simple as that. So with that, basically if I run this code right now, this simple file here, basically the initialization and S3, I will have a completely set up bucket on AWS. So let's see that in action. So I'm gonna open my terminal, and I'm gonna put Terraform in it in order for me to initialize my Terraform project. So this will take also a few seconds to complete. Okay, so now that has been initialized successfully, now what I want to do is Terraform plan, and basically let's clear this up. And Terraform plan basically gives me the capability to see what are my information that I'm going to be creating, or what are the services, a list of the services that Terraform will create on AWS, and it will give me a confirmation that everything there is what I want. So as we can see here that it created a bucket, and that's all it's going to be creating for me, which is exactly what I want. And in order for me to actually apply those changes, I need to put, let's clear this again, Terraform apply, and basically this will automatically apply everything that I have here into AWS. And if we click yes here, so as we can see from the error here that the error that I'm getting is bucket already exists. So that's something we need to keep in mind, that the S3 bucket is unique. So it has to be a unique bucket name. So someone else has already taken this name. So for this reason, I'm just gonna add any characters here at the back and then try to run this again. I'm gonna put yes. And now we can see start to create. And now we can see the bucket has been created successfully. So now if I go back to my AWS account and I go to S3, we'll be able to see that I have my React application just created and it's a very empty bucket. Okay, great. So this is not enough. What we need to do is we need to add configuration. So we're actually configuring this S3 bucket as a static site hosting, which is going to be pretty straightforward to do. So let's go back here and let's make this a bit smaller. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to add resource, and this is going to be AWS S3 underscore bucket. And if we take a look at the list that has been populated, there's a lot of different items that we can configure, and the one item that I'm looking for is website configuration. And the website configuration here will actually allow me to convert this S3 bucket into a static site host. I'm going to give it a name, React config, and the name here that I'm adding on top is basically, it's like a variable name for this resource that I can utilize inside Terraform. It's not something that we're going to be seeing in AWS. So the naming here is only to be used within Terraform. The naming inside those brackets will be everything that we're going to be seeing in AWS. So once I do this, we need to specify the bucket where this site configuration is going to be, and it's going to be AWS S3 bucket, and then I need to specify the ID. And the main thing that I want to define here is the index page. So basically this is the landing page that the site is going to be launching from, and it's going to be always the index.html because it's a static web page. And we're going to say the suffix for it is going to be index.html. And something really interesting, if we go to the React application and we open the build file, we can see here that the launching page is an index.html page, and this should match exactly with what we're doing right now inside our React Terraform code. So now that I have done this, the next step is I need to allow public access. So basically by default, if we take a look at our configuration here, if we go to properties, we can see here that inside permissions, we can see here that there is no public access. So even if I upload all of my content file, by default my bucket is secured. No one can really access it unless they have the right permissions. And because this is going to be a public site hosting, we don't really want to have permissions. We want everyone to be able to access the site. And in order for us to do so, what we want to do is we want to actually enable this. So we can enable it directly through the console, but just to make it easy, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be going through Terraform. But other items, like for example the ACL, we can actually directly add it through the console, so we can see how can both work at the same time. So let's go back to Terraform and let's add the configuration for it here. So first thing that I want to do is I'm going to add another resource, which is going to be called AWS S3 bucket ownership control. So let's look for that. This is what I want. I'm going to say here bucket ownership, and inside this I want to specify what is the bucket. I'm going to put again AWS bucket React application. I'm going to give it the ID, and then I'm going to specify the rules, and I'm going to say object ownership. I'm going to say bucket owner preferred. And if you're wondering where can you find this and this different configuration, if we go back here and we go to the documentation for Terraform, we can see this is a sample one, and we can take a look here at the rule object and we can see bucket owner preferred, and this is exactly what I currently have here. Okay, great. So now that we have specified the ownership, the last item that I want to do here is provide the public access. So I'm going to put resource AWS underscore S3 underscore bucket underscore public access, and I'm going to say here bucket dash public dash access. And this is going to be the last section that I'm going to be doing within Terraform. And this is going to be, first of all, I'm going to specify the bucket. So I'm going to put AWS bucket.id. Then I'm going to specify some configuration. So I'm going to say block public ACL, I'm going to put equal to false. Block public policy also equal to false. Ignore public ACL equal to false. And restrict public buckets equal to false. So these are the main configuration for access. So basically I'm disabling anything that prevent me from having public access to it. And the last item, although I said this the one before, I just remembered what we need to do is we need to add an ACL. So I'm going to put resource AWS underscore S3 underscore bucket underscore ACL, and I'm going to call it bucket ACL. And here it's very simple. I need to specify the bucket, again AWS S3 bucket.id. I need to specify the ACL, which is going to say equal to public read, and I'm going to say that this ACL will depend on this public access block and the bucket ownership. So now I can say depends on, I can say AWS bucket ownership control, and AWS public access. So these will basically are what this ACL depends on, and basically I did the configuration. And this is all the work that I'm going to be doing within Terraform. Pretty straightforward and easy. So I'm just going to clear this up. I'm going to put Terraform, first of all, plan, and I misspelled Terraform. So now we can see it's checking the changes, and we can see it started to add the configuration that I have just added, which is going to be applied on AWS. I'm going to clear this up. I'm going to put Terraform apply. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to say yes, and this will take a few seconds, and now it has been completed. If I go now back to my bucket here, and if I refresh this, we're gonna see this has changed now. Okay, great. Now we can see that all public access, and basically now we're able to actually see the information inside the bucket. Perfect. But if we take a look here, my bucket is still empty. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna upload my build file into AWS. So let's see how we can do this. So I'm gonna go back to my code. I'm gonna clear this up. So this is the React application, and I'm gonna put here AWS S3 sync. I'm gonna specify the bucket name. Sorry, first we're gonna specify the build name, the folder name, which is gonna be build, and this is gonna be it. Actually, let's make sure first and we are in the right directory. So I'm gonna put ls, and we are in the right directory. So again, we're gonna put AWS S3 sync. We're gonna specify the folder which we're gonna be uploading, which is build, and then we're gonna be specifying the bucket name. It's gonna be S3 dot // and this is my bucket name, and I'm gonna specify the profile, which is gonna be the default profile, and this is just because I have different AWS configuration on my machine. So now once I have done this, we can see it started to upload, and the upload has finished. Now if we go back here and I refresh this folder, we should be able to see that all of my files are here, and basically this is exactly what I see. And now if we go to properties and we scroll all the way down, what we can see here is we have now static site hosting now has been enabled, and I have basically a link which is auto-generated by AWS in order for me to see my code. So if I click on this right now, oops, we see that we have a forbidden, and this is exactly what I was expecting, because basically what we want to do right now is we want to add a simple ACL inside my bucket policy. We want to add a policy that's going to allow us to actually allow public access on top of everything else that we have done. So what we want to do here is we want to add a policy that's going to allow us to have public access on top of everything else that we have done, and through this the policy is going to be quite simple. So I'm just going to copy it here, and then we're going to fill in what's missing, and basically we can take a look that everything is filled except the resource, which is the bucket that we want. And basically what we're saying inside this statement is that we are basically creating a public read for the object, and we are allowing it, and the principal we named everyone, anything inside this account. And basically I'm saying the action is to get the object, which is basically every single file inside AWS, inside this bucket in AWS. And now I need to specify the resource, so I need the ARN. So if I just copy this from here, and let me see if I can find my ARN, and this is my ARN for this bucket, so I'm just gonna copy it and add it here. So now that my ARN has been added, I'm just gonna click on save. You can see there's an error, so let's see what this error is. Oh, I forgot to add the /*, and I'm gonna click on save. Okay, perfect. So now that my bucket policy has been updated, and if I come here now and I refresh, I should be able to see my React application up and running. And this is basically it. So we can have done the process of creating the bucket through the portal. It may have been a bit easier, but the reason that we wanted to focus on Terraform and AWS because we want to have a repeated pieces of code. So if we want to deploy this to an testing to production, pre-prod, we can just run the same script again and again, and we automatically create it, and will give us the same configuration over and over. I have created a video before of why do I think every single developer should learn Terraform. I'll link it here somewhere. You'll be able to watch that if you're interested. At the end of the day, AWS have a lot of different services that we can actually utilize to host our applications. S3 provides a very strong way to do so by providing a lot of different capabilities outside the box, and the React application is straightforward enough that S3 can handle it, and I highly suggest to use this for any type of static hosting that you're doing. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please make sure you put them in the comments down below. If you'd like to support me, please consider supporting me on Patreon or buying me a coffee. With that said, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.